Hi, I'm Elena, and when you are going through your debt payoff journey, you may be looking into other ways that you can quickly pay off your debt. And so let's talk about balance transfers and debt consolidation. Now, I'll be the first to tell you I have used this method and it has worked for me, but I had to be very disciplined to do it. Now, if you are not a disciplined person, I'm gonna tell you right now, go ahead and watch the video and understand how it works, okay? But I'm gonna need you to be real with yourself if you are not disciplined. This is a very disciplined method, and I want you to win when it comes to your journey. So in order to do this, you just really have to be dedicated, committed, and real with yourself, okay? Let's not even front. Who are you as a person? I know a lot of people are not, but as a person, are you disciplined enough to just stop using your credit cards? Because if you do either one of these methods and you're still using your cards, it doesn't even matter. So let's talk about the difference between the two. First, let's talk about balance transfers. Depending on your status as far as like your credit score and your balances on your cards, you may see that you're getting like offers to do a balance transfer. And basically what a balance transfer is that you are transferring the balance from your credit card with a higher interest rate to another credit card that typically has a lower interest rate. Typically it is a 0% or it may be like 0.99%. Now the reason why people like to do balance transfers is that it gives you a longer time to pay off the debt without paying the high interest. So you have a time frame to pay off the debt at this percentage rate. So like I mentioned, typically it is 0% and they'll give you a certain time frame to pay this off. So it may be 6 months, a year, 18 months. Those are the time frames that I have seen. But one thing that you do have to consider, when you don't pay off that balance in that time frame, you definitely have to make sure, like check the paperwork and make sure that they're not going to charge you all the way back for interest, or what is the interest rate that they're going to charge you once you get to that time frame. So this is why I say like you also have to be very disciplined, because you want to make sure that you pay off that debt before that 0% interest time is up. Also, one thing to consider is that when you do the balance transfer, you are not going to do it for free, right? They are going to charge you a balance transfer fee, typically between 3% and 5%. So for example, if you are transferring a $3,000 loan balance from one credit card to a 0% credit card, and they have a 5% balance transfer fee, then you would be charged $150 to transfer your balance from the higher interest card to the 0% card. Now that $150 will be added to the balance that you transferred, so you will end up with a balance on the 0% card for $3,150. Now, debt consolidation is when you're taking several high interest debts and you are consolidating them into an actual loan. So it's not going to a credit card, it's actually going to become similar to, like, they call it a debt consolidation loan, but you can also kind of think of it as like a personal loan. When you consolidate into this loan, typically it's a lower interest rate, but I personally have not seen any debt consolidation loans that have 0%, but it is a lower interest. So it still saves you money so that you're not paying so much interest every single month, but there's still interest there, right? So there's still an amount that you're gonna have to pay for interest. Typically with a debt consolidation loan, they do have a term also. If I'm not mistaken, you get to determine how long your loan term is gonna be. I don't know if they do 1 year, but I have seen in helping people that they have like 3 years, and I definitely seen 5 years. I'm sure if you owed a larger amount, maybe you can spread it out longer, but even when you think about that, your interest rate might be higher, because the longer the loan term, the more risk that debt consolidation company is taking on. Another benefit as far as debt consolidation is when you're taking all these different, let's say, credit cards and loans that you have, and you're consolidating them into one loan, typically your monthly payment is going to be a lot lower than what your monthly payment was when you were paying all of those debts separately. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that you do have a reduced interest rate on the loan. But one thing I will say, especially if you have like a debt consolidation loan and you want to pay it off faster, this is just a way to reduce that interest that you're being charged. If you're able to keep the same amount that you paid originally for all of those loans separately and keep paying that towards the debt consolidation loan, you will be out of debt sooner than the term that they have set for you. I will also say that you got to be considerate with debt consolidation that there are going to be loan origination fees. So similar to how I talked about there's balance transfer fees, a debt consolidation loan may have a loan origination fee that you'll have to calculate and just see how much fees that you'll be charged for consolidating your debt. In the beginning of this video, I discussed that you really have to be disciplined, and that's because the credit cards that you have either balance transferred from or had a debt consolidation now have zero balance or somewhere near zero balance, and you probably have credit line available. If you are not careful and you are not disciplined, you will end up in a situation where you have now charged those cards back up. And most people are not that disciplined, because unfortunately you start to feel like you have more money than you really have, because now you're actually like saving on the interest. And also sometimes things happen and you end up charging that card back up. So now you are somewhat in a worse situation, because if you charge that card back up that had that high interest and you still have this either balance transfer that you're trying to pay off over here or this debt consolidation, then now you owe even more money. A lot of people in the personal finance space actually are iffy about recommending this option. For me, I want to educate on this option, because there are some people out there who are disciplined enough to do it and get to the goal. And also I want those who may not be disciplined enough to understand like that process and what is happening and the pros and cons of each, because a lot of times people get caught up because they just don't know. And so I definitely want to make sure that if it is something you're considering, at least you'll have the basis of what happens in either one of these options. Now, if I haven't said it already, if you're not disciplined enough, you know yourself and you're real with yourself, don't do either one. Just pick another debt payoff method and stick to it, instead of trying to save either on the interest or lower your payments, because I don't want you to be in a situation where now you have this balance transfer payment or this debt consolidation payment along with that high interest credit card balance payment to make also. So if this video was helpful for you, then definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are looking to start your debt payoff journey and get a better hold on your finances, then I will see you over in this video right here.